Alright, new town, new couch. Time for another video.
You have a pillow today. Is that a new addition?
I added this pillow kind of as a wedge to hold myself up. Here, you know how you can prop a door open by pushing a wooden doorstop under it? Same concept. Only I'm using a pillow and the distended portion of my ribcage.
Shane had no idea that using a pillow under his elbows in the front would help. And that's how I sit in the car, like on road trips. Like on our way here, I had my pillow under my elbows because it's so tiring to just sit upright.
You were like, why don't you put a pillow on the front?
You were like, what?
I was like, that won't work. What would that do?
Yeah.
And you did it, and I was like, oh, I can sit. It also is helpful because wheelchairs are not allowed in Prague, and so...
That's essentially what we've been finding out.
We had to leave it in the other town in Poland, so it's been tough.
That's not true, everyone. That's not true. Wheelchairs are allowed. In, 10% of the city, would you say?
It's very bumpy, but we'll talk about that in another episode.
Today, we are telling two stories that I'm really excited about. They are our horror travel stories. The worst things that have happened to us while traveling.
Yeah.
Mine is when I was traveling alone with my mom. Shane and I were together, so he's involved in the story. And then
we were dating.
We were dating, yeah. I don't know why, yeah. Oops. And Shane's story is from when we were in Paris last year. So these are so good. I was almost killed in my story, I'm pretty sure.
And I was too, in a way.
Shane was kind of
You almost died in both stories.
I'm in danger in both stories. Shane's only in danger in one, but he feels it deeply in both.
Alright, so first up, Hannah's worst travel story ever.
Horrible. I hope that I can adequately tell this story to share the horror with all of you.
Dun dun dun. So I'll just do backup music.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
it was, how long ago was it? It was 2 years ago, and I was traveling from Poland to Hungary with my mom on an overnight train, and we were excited about the overnight train because it's like a whole experience. We had done it before, once, and we got on this train and found our compartment, and the conductor of the train was coming over and checking tickets. He was like, just so you know, make sure you bolt your doors. Don't just do the chain, make sure you do the deadbolt and the chain. And we were like, okay, that's a horrifying thing to tell us as soon as we get on the train.
Sounds like a horror movie.
I'm texting this to Shane. He's like, are you sure you should be on that train? And the guy was like, there's robbers on this train. There's criminals that get on in the middle of the night. So make sure that you deadbolt your door.
I remember you texting me that. And it was I don't know, 6 p.m. back in Pennsylvania where I was. And Hannah texted all this to me. Hey, the conductor said to make sure that we double lock our doors because there's really bad people on this train. And I was like, oh, dude, well, I'll be up all night waiting for your survival.
Yeah. So a few hours later, the conductor is coming around again he was coming around with something. It wouldn't have been food. They don't give you food.
Weapons to protect yourself?
Maybe we asked him for oh my God, I remember what it was. We didn't have an outlet in our train compartment, and my mom asked him to charge her phone in the conductor's thing because she was like, it's going to die and we need at least one phone to navigate tomorrow. So he was really nice and took her phone into the conductor's thing, and he was bringing it back. So we had our door closed but unlocked because we knew he was coming back. He arrived and knocked on the door, and we opened it, and he was like, why isn't your door deadbolted and chained shut? And we were like, because we knew you were coming back. It's totally fine. And he was like, no, you need to keep this deadbolted at all times.
That is horrifying. Do you have a bed?
Yeah,
what was it like in this?
It's a tiny hallway. You walk in, and it's 4 feet long and very narrow, of my width basically.
Yeah.
And then to the left is 2 bunk beds. And there's a sink in the corner.
Oh, okay.
A really small sink. Anyway, we went to bed, and we hadn't seen anybody creepy yet.
No one walking around with
no one.
Knife.
And we had our door closed, so we were not I wasn't that scared going to bed because I was like, well, our door's locked. It's totally fine.
And that's just a ridiculous thing. What, do they murder people on every
train ride?
And they have no solution?
I know.
Other than lock your doors.
Other than the conductor warning everybody.
Hey, if you lose like 8 or 9 passengers on every train ride, so lock your door.
And I don't know if he told everyone that got on or if he just told like my mom and I because we were 2 women. Like I don't know what sort of crimes he was like alluding to, and I don't know if that was like a normal thing for him to say or if he was like, I'm going to give these 2 a special heads up. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I would like to know.
Just messing with you.
Well, no, he wasn't because the second part of the story is coming. I go to bed, and this is an old train. It's not a new train, and it is so loud. Like I can't explain to you how loud this train is. And it is deafening.
That loud or
that loud. Okay. That loud, but white noise. Like you can have to yell to each other to hear each other.
Perfect. We were able to explain how loud this train was.
And we had a little window that popped open, like a little pop window. So we had that open because otherwise, with the door bolted, there's no air. So we had that window open, and there was a thunderstorm, like a crazy raging storm. And I woke up at, I think it was 1 in the morning, because it was like, 7 p.m. your time? Maybe it was like 3 in the morning?
No, it was like 9
p.m. your time. So I think it was 3 in the morning on the train, and I woke up. I had already been asleep, and it was so loud with the thunder and the rain and the train combined. And it was like jolting me, you know?
Yeah.
You were awake. I texted Shane.
I did a text that says, hi, I woke up, it's so loud.
I can't sleep.
I can't sleep. So I was like, okay, well, we can text.
Yeah.
I'm on the toilet. And I was about done. So I was about to call my dad and be like, hey, Dad, I'm done. Come get me, please. But since Hannah was awake, I was like, all right,
you'll sit there for a couple minutes.
I'll sit here for a minute and text her.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there. I'm still laying in bed, but I'm propped up on my elbows. This is an important part of the story. I'm laying on my stomach, propped on my elbows, texting Shane. All of a sudden, I see light to my left where the door is. So my head is right by the door. Like the bunk beds, you lay and the door is right next to you.
Yeah, you're like on the door.
But I'm up above. My mom is like bottom bunk level. I'm top bunk level. So I'm looking down at the door and it's open and I see like a flashlight, a man with a flashlight looking into the room. And I, in my innocence and the fact that it was 3 in the morning, thought that it was the conductor doing some sort of like night check. I don't know. I didn't remember if that was normal. Like I wasn't sure, but I didn't want to like start screaming because if that was the conductor, that would be so embarrassing.
I did a text message on the toilet that says, I think there might be someone at my door.
Someone opened the door, yeah.
Which, with everything else that she told me, I was like, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm. So he's looking throughout the room, and then he shines it on my mom's face right below me, and then brings it up to my face, and I am propped on my elbows. So it's hard to pretend that you're sleeping when you're propped on your elbows, but I was like terrified. I had already turned my phone over when I like saw that he was looking around the room, so he didn't see that, and I just put my head like to the side and like hung it as if I had fallen asleep like reading a book.
So you like played dead?
I played dead, and he bought it. I could tell when like I had my eyes closed, but when there was no longer a flashlight on my face, I looked and he was checking my mom again, and then he put the flashlight in his mouth. And at this point, I'm not updating Shane because like something's happening to me.
I'm just waiting for a text after the one that says, I think there's someone at my door. You know how your legs go numb when you're on the toilet for too long? I was like 15 minutes beyond that. But I was like, what is going on? I'm like texting her.
Texting me.
Like, what's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, I felt horrible. I didn't even think of you in that moment. I was like so horrified.
I don't blame you.
So he puts the flashlight in his mouth and takes out a pair of bolt cutters and puts it, so he's gotten the deadbolt open, puts it on the chain of the door and begins trying to cut the chain of the door. And at that point...
What went through your mind, like, right then?
What went through my mind was like, I went like numb, you know when your blood drains? Yeah. Like my blood drained. And my thoughts were just repeatedly like, why isn't my mom waking up? Like, Mom.
Save me.
Hell yeah, like literally, like why isn't... Like, is this really going to be my thing to deal with? Because, like, why isn't anybody...
Yeah, but you didn't want to, like, alert your mom.
Exactly.
Like,
what was I supposed to do?
You know?
Yeah. But he's, like, I had thought that when they were flashlighting us. So when he pulled out the bolt cutters, I was like, okay, like, this is my time to do something. Like, I have to do something. And I thought about, like, throwing my phone, but I was like, I need my phone.
It'll take your phone.
And I'd
rather die than give him my phone.
And my second thought was, I need to do it now before they get the the chain off, because once the chain is off, I'm at a disadvantage. Like right now, at least I'm like, no, I can't be physically attacked. So this like really shows my personality. What a sad person I am. Instead of like, think about what you would do if someone was trying to break into your train cabin. Would you like scream? Would you be like, hey, get the hell away?
Stop.
Yeah, hey, stop.
No.
You wanna know what I said? Excuse me.
So polite.
I said, excuse me to the robbers. I was like, excuse me. And he looked up with the flashlight. And I was like, what are you doing? I don't think he spoke English. And
Pardon me.
He just looked at me for like 2 seconds, which is like way too long. In my mind, it was like a minute. Looked at me for 2 seconds and then just closed the door.
That is so scary. Your heart must have been...
Isn't that horrifying?
Beating out of your chest.
I couldn't believe that it happened. My mom slept through the entire thing.
Did you wake your mom up?
I woke her up. And she at first thought that I was dreaming. But I was like, Mom, I've been texting Shane about this. Like, this happened. She couldn't believe it. It was horrible.
And then...
She didn't sleep the rest of the night. She stayed up.
Finally, I did a text that goes, oh my God, someone just tried to break in to our train compartment. And then, this I don't blame you for, but you must have said that
I didn't text. Then I woke my mom up.
And then woke your mom up and like dealt with it with your mom. And so again, for like 10 minutes, I was like, hello, babe,
Are they gone?
Are you alive? Like, oh my God.
Yeah. So that happened to me.
I cannot believe that.
Yep. Really put a damper on the whole trip to Hungary.
That conductor was not lying.
He wasn't. We told him the next day and he was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen bolt cutters yet. That's what he said to us. He was like, oh yeah, they have the key for the deadbolt, but so far I haven't heard of bolt cutters. And we were like, oh, so that's new. But we had to take the train back. This is the funny part. And we went and bought like a train lock thing where you like put it on the door handle and then put it on like the other side of the room so that it like holds the door shut. We went and bought that contraption that they sell.
The fact that that is a product is really sad.
So, but that train actually, it was a newer train and it had real deadbolts. The problem with this train was that the deadbolt was like an octagon key that anyone could make. Whole big thing. But anyway, it ended up being fine. It was a really good story. Yeah. Oh, and the rest of the night, remember the photo of me with I'll put this photo in. The rest of the night, I couldn't sleep. And so I sat there with the only thing I could think of to be a weapon, which was a clothes hanger. And I slept with it in my hand. I slept with a clothes hanger just in case someone came back.
You should fend them off, yeah.
Because the door was they could have done it again easily. Yeah. I didn't want to go back to sleep.
You survived.
I survived. Horrifying story. All right, what's your story, Shane?
So mine is not as near-death experience type deal, but...
Scary.
I thought I was abandoned in Paris by Hannah. So this was last summer when we went to London and Paris. And we were visiting the Eiffel Tower. We had seen the Eiffel Tower, lovely experience, and then we found an outdoor food market. And we ordered
we didn't know.
Jambalaya or...
It was like a pulled
rice,
chicken with rice?
Yeah, not jambalaya, I don't remember.
Yeah,
delicious.
It was amazing. And I had a crepe. That was your meal.
Yeah.
Which I kind of split.
So you ate most of my meal and then your crepe.
With banana and Nutella.
Delicious
Worth
meal.
It.
Lovely with the view of the Eiffel Tower. Wonderful day, right?
We were still sitting on the bench. I was physically eating when I realized that I was going to need a bathroom. Quickly. I have stomach issues. And
we're actively working to resolve.
Yeah, I just got blood drawn 18 times to try to figure it out. So I knew that I was going to need to find a restroom very quickly. And there were none, essentially. We went to the one that was for the festival and it was closed.
And I don't want to get too involved, but when these episodes hit Hannah, they hit hard and they hit fast.
Well, I can't talk to you about it when it's I'm.
It's not I need to find the bathroom soon.
It's I'm sweating and I'm sitting there and I'm just I'm done dealing with this situation.
If there is not a bathroom near me now, we will have a problem in my pants.
Yeah. So that's what was happening, and so my mom and Shane started Googling
bathrooms nearby.
Public bathrooms near the Eiffel Tower because
really way out in the big field. There were no visible, like, public buildings
Yep.
that we could get into.
Mm-hmm.
So we began to walk towards the nearest public restroom.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm not gonna make it.
I was thinking about going in a bush.
Yeah.
Like in Paris, in downtown. I literally was like looking at bushes being like, honestly, like, am I ever gonna see any of these people again?
I said to her, I was like, I can park my chair in a way that will, like, block the view.
That's how bad it is.
It's like, for real.
Uh-huh. So we were walking towards this bathroom, which wasn't that far away. It was like
half a mile, maybe?
It was probably half a mile, but it was on one solid block, like the Eiffel Tower block. It was a weird area. But we're going through the park to get there, and we get to a staircase with like 5 steps. And there is no way around this staircase. And I don't have the capacity to deal with it, so I just like walked down the steps.
You're like, bye, Shane.
Goodbye.
I said, I was like, oh, like, just go. I know it's not that far away.
Yeah.
I'll hang out here, and you'll be back soon.
We could see the bathroom from there. Like, I could. Shane couldn't because he's sitting low to the earth. But at my height, I could see the bathroom.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. Joe, I'll hang out here. See you soon. Right?
There ended up being a line to this bathroom that was like 15 people long. And I couldn't stand in the line because I was like in a lot of pain. So my mom stood in the bathroom line for 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
While I sat at a bus stop, like 15 feet away, literally like this. Okay, like, so I'm surprised no one came over to like...
This is more like your worst travel story. But the reason it's bad for me is because those 45 minutes were genuinely terrifying. Like, for the first 10 minutes, I was like, wow, this is taking a while. Like, did they get lost? Did they have to go somewhere else? Like, whatever. And I'm looking around for, like, another way down to where I think that they are, but I couldn't find it. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. I can't reach my phone because it's, like, too far.
Well, you didn't have your joystick then. So you couldn't move your joystick.
Yeah.
Shane has a joystick now that he can move with a button, but back then, someone had to push down like a latch and swing it out, and he couldn't do that himself, and then he couldn't get it back in, so he had to leave
my hand up,
and therefore couldn't reach his phone.
So then it's like 20 minutes have gone by, and I'm getting nervous. I'm like, what happened to them? And like, are they so lost that they can't get back to me? Like, do I live out here by the Eiffel Tower now? I didn't want to deal with asking a stranger to help me because they probably spoke French, and I could have just been like awkward. I didn't want to admit that, like, I was worried that there was a problem. Then, like, half an hour has gone by. I'm pacing. I'm like, oh my god, did they leave me on purpose? Like, is all of everything I know about Hannah, has it all been an elaborate plan to leave me in Paris? 45 minutes have gone by, and I'm like about to have a breakdown. I'm like,
were you really that?
I was nervous.
Aww.
I was like, what did I do? Like, clearly they're not at the bathroom. Like, something had to happen. Did they get taken?
Think about those 45 minutes from my perspective.
I know. And then, gloriously, I see Hannah's head coming up over the horizon. And I'm like, I made it. You came back, you were like, and I was like, what happened? You were like, I can't talk about it.
That was the worst 45 minutes of my life, 100%. Like, I still, like, think about that sometimes.
Traveling is fun, but new places and new experiences leave a lot of room for mishaps. And that's kind of what makes it fun, but you also fear for your life sometimes.